Hi everyone, it's Deb here from Soul Roots Journey, and I thought I'd do a little video with a little bit of difference. Just recently, every day, it's a ritual. It's something that I really like to do is in the morning, as soon as I get out the shower, I like to aromatically dress myself, and generally, almost consistently, there's a bottle of frankincense at my bathroom counter waiting for me to not only inhale but apply topically to my body. And I find this particular oil one that I've chosen with intention, with purpose. Like, it's been for its properties of knowing that it helps support cellular health. So we're looking at prevention and proactivity. However, just in the last couple of weeks, I've shifted and I just intuitively, without really at the time knowing why, I decided to just go with Litsea. And as I put it on, I guess I wanted to have a citrus oil when I first went and reached for it, because in winter, this is when we can really topically apply citrus to the skin, because even we don't have to wait, be impacted by photosynthesis, or, having the skin contact with that because of the sun, because we're not getting much sun, right? So, and often, you think of winter and we're really in a state of when is that sun coming? So maybe that's part of the reason why I intuitively chose Litsea for its vibrancy. We start observing with curiosity, not with necessarily intention, but when we're putting it on our body, just noticing what's happening as we're putting it on. Are there any subtle changes within our physical body, or how does it make us feel, or what words come to mind, or if you could be visual, I'm fantastic, what imagery comes to mind. So for me, as I sometimes am driving along, I'm getting little whiffs of Litsea throughout, whether I've got the window down and the breeze is shifting it, and I'm reminded of its vibrancy, its freshness, and how it makes me feel. It makes me feel alive. It makes me feel nurtured. And I was starting to think how, especially because it's something I'm very passionate about in facilitation, using tools not only for integration but for actually supporting in session. And that's what led me to Litsea today, because I just realized how powerful this oil is for inner child work. So if you're a facilitator or a practitioner, or even someone who knows or is familiar with the term inner child work, it's something that we wanting to do, especially within the trauma-informed space, where we're looking at the parts of us that didn't receive maybe safety, nurture, or encouragement, or freedom at the time, and we're kind of helping support those parts of us. And it's about meeting the wounded parts, of ourselves, but in a way of reconnection to those parts, and from a nervous system point of view, is when we're in shutdown, when we're in fight and flight response, we've got no ability for creativity. And this is why fundamentally behind we're just going and doing inner child work, it's a necessity, because we've lost the ability in that to know how to be playful, how to be creative. And that's why often people really struggle, or, you hear artists where they're going, oh, my creativity is at a standstill, or a writer. But what's actually going on at that time? Are they hypervigilant? Are they in fight and flight at the time? Because that part of our nervous system is also responsible for allowing us to do that. So having tools like Litsea, it carries such beautiful energy of freshness and playfulness and creativity, that I feel that this oil connects beautifully with the inner child work that we do, the energy of imagination, if you're thinking from a Chinese medicine, the element of air, it's about curiosity, it's about expression, but also the spark of fire, the energy of joy. So next time you feel like you've lost your spark, lost your energy, or in a slump of creativity, why not get your bottle of Litsea and have a moment to pause and ask yourself, when did I stop feeling creative? And what parts of me are waiting to create again? We've got to sit and explore, and just have a moment with Litsea. And as soon as I made that connection today with Litsea, I fully understood, for me personally, why for 2 weeks I've subconsciously been drawn to this oil. Because sometimes healing is remembering the parts of ourselves we had to, and the parts that we had to leave behind. It's the part of us that wants to laugh. There's a part of my subconscious that's giving me the signals. I need to get back into that. I need to feel that. I need to want to create again. I need to want to feel joy again. And someone asked me only this week, you need joy, Deb. You just need joy. And maybe my body was telling me with Litsea,